Hello and welcome to Saki Tech. So in today's video, I'm going to go over 40 plus tips and tricks for the Samsung Galaxy Note Pro 12.2-inch tablet. You either own this tablet and you want to learn everything that is possible about it, or you may be thinking about buying this tablet, and then this video will show you what is possible using this tablet. There's endless number of features and tips and tricks for this guy, and let's dive right in.
Okay, so the very first tip I want to talk about is the fact that you can use a Bluetooth mouse with your Samsung Galaxy Note Pro tablet. So all you do is you go to Settings, okay, and under Connections and Bluetooth, make sure Bluetooth is turned on and make sure your Bluetooth mouse is turned on. It's going to show up right here under Available Devices. You tap on it and then you will be able to use your mouse the same way you use it on a Mac or a Windows PC. Now this is my favorite tip. What you can do is you can issue voice commands right off the lock screen and maybe unlock your screen or launch the camera. So let me demonstrate real quick. I already have it set up where I can unlock the screen using my voice command. So I'm going to demonstrate first. I'm going to show you how to do it the next. Unlock the screen. So as you can see, just by saying unlock the screen unlocked itself automatically. Now let me show you how to do that. So if you go to Settings, okay, under Device and Lock Screen, there's an option at the bottom here that says Wake Up in Lock Screen. Make sure it is turned on and then tap anywhere here to go inside. And over here, you can set up 4 voice commands that you can use to issue commands in the lock screen using your voice. So let's set up one right now and see how it works. So let's do a wake up function. Let's do open camera. So what they want you to do is
button, then say the word or phrase you want to use as the wake up command 4 times.
Yes, so they want you to tap the button here and then you're going to record the issuing command using your voice. So let's tap this. Camera. Camera, camera, camera.
Recognized. Now you can use your own wake up command for selected function.
Okay, so once you get the success message, you click done, and then now you have 2 wake up functions and 2 voice commands ready for you. So let's do the camera real quick. Camera. So as you can see, just by saying camera, the camera was launched. Okay, so that is a perfect way to use your device. Okay, so the next step, now going back into the settings and device under lock screen, I want to make something very clear to you. Make sure you have the screen lock set to be swipe. So if you tap here, you have all these options. You can pick swipe, that means there's no security. You can do a signature, pattern, PIN number, password, or any of those things if you want to secure your device. The problem is, if you pick any of these signature, pattern, PIN number, or password guys, a lot of the options that you see here will disappear. Okay, all the cool things that I'm going to show you next are not going to be available if you don't have it set to screen lock swipe. The next tip is where you can actually add some information to your lock screen by tapping on this lock screen card. Again, this is under device, lock screen. So tap on lock screen card, and from here you have several things you can pick that you want to show on your lock screen when you power on your device. So let's just do an example. Let's do weather, but you can do today's schedule, you can do news, social, and email. Okay, so let's take a look at how the weather looks on the lock screen. And there you go. At the bottom, you will see a small weather icon showing you today's weather, which is pretty cool. Okay, so unlock the screen, and then let's go back and look at the other things you can do at the lock screen. Next thing you can do is you can add shortcuts to your lock screen. So make sure, if you see this button next to any option, make sure it's turned on to enable that function, and then you can tap on the actual writing to go into the options. So with the shortcuts, you can have these shortcuts on your screen, and if you want to change any of these guys, you tap and hold, you delete, okay, and then you can press this plus sign to pick anything you want as a shortcut on your lock screen. So if I turn this off and on, I've got my weather widget and I've got my shortcuts. And if I tap the calculator, oops, you may have to swipe it. Yes. So tap on it and swipe it, and it's going to bring up your calculator right from the lock screen. Okay, so let's cover all the tips in the lock screen at once, and we're going to move on to other cool things in a minute. So let's go back to lock screen. The other thing you can do is you can add a personal message on your lock screen. So again, make sure it is turned on, and then tap on the writing to go into the settings, and then click Edit Personal Message. So if you tap that, you can basically have anything right here. You see that blue highlight? That is your message. So delete that. Let's just do Saki Tech. Okay, you can pick a color. You can do white, match the color of the clock, and then you can pick different fonts available. Let's do the Cool Jazz. Okay, and then you click Save. And if you go to lock screen, now you have a nice little message popped right here. And you can see how many things you can do in the lock screen. You got your personal message, you've got your weather icon, and you've got your shortcuts. Okay, so let's look at more of these things. So go back to the lock screen setup screen. And the next thing you can do is you can add owner information right on your lock screen. So let's run that. Just type in anything. I'm gonna do Saki Tech one more time, and just click OK, and make sure this box is ticked where it says Show Owner Info into the lock on the lock screen. So okay, let's take a look at the lock screen now. Okay, so there's my owner information at the bottom where it says Saki Tech. You can have a quote here if you want, and let's go back inside. And the next thing I want to look at is the unlocking effect. So you know when you're in the lock screen, you swipe it and you see this blinds effect. So you can change that to other things too. So you have three options. You've got none, which is not an option. You've got blind, watercolor, and ripple. So let's do the watercolor. So now you have the water effect. You can also do the ripple. Which is also a water-like effect. But I prefer the, cancel that. I prefer the blind effect. Okay? And the final thing I want to show you guys is how to access the action memo right on the lock screen using your S Pen. So if you pull out your S Pen, okay, the air command pops right up when you pull up your S Pen. We're going to come to that in a minute. So let's ignore that for a second. So if you go to your lock screen, what you can do is if you want to take a quick note, you can tap and hold this button right here on the S Pen and double tap on the screen. And, oops, I think I was a little late. But basically, if you're in the lock screen and you want to bring up action memo, tap and hold the button, double tap. Take a quick note and save it. Okay, so let's just save that and unlock to go inside. Okay, so the next thing I want to go over is the way you can individualize your S Pen detachment options. So when you detach your S Pen from your note, the air command pops right over here. Okay, like we showed you in a couple minutes ago. You can actually change what happens when you take your S Pen out of your device. So all you want to do is you want to go to Controls, and you want to go to S Pen. Okay, and down at the bottom here it says Pen Detachment. So what do you want your tablet to do when you detach your pen? You tap that option. You can either have it pop the action memo, do nothing, or get the air command. So if you have the action memo set up, and let's put the S Pen in there, and then let's pull it out. The action memo will pop right up. Okay? I prefer the air command, so I'm going to leave it like that. The other thing you can do is you can change the sound that your device plays when you pull the pen out. So again, you have four options. Off, sound 1, sound 2, and sound 3. Okay, so let's just keep that. And then the final thing you can do with the pen detachment is you can have a little vibration feedback if you want. When you pull the pen out, the tablet vibrates. When you put it back in, it vibrates a little bit. Okay, and the other things you can do here is, one of them is the one that I enjoy really a lot. It says Air View. So there are certain things on your tab, if you take your pen and you hover above it, okay, it will do things before you actually tap on the screen. So you can hover the pen over the screen. You can see that little pointer. Okay, I'm not touching the screen. I'm just hovering right above the screen. So if I hover over certain things, I will get some actions, some information regarding the things I'm hovering on top of. So for example, this folder here, I can hover on top of it, and it will expand a little bit to show me what's the contents. Same with the gaming. I can hover over this. It's going to show me what's in the folder. It's going to be like a quick preview. Okay, so the Air View gives you that option to be able to hover over items and get some meaningful information regarding that item. And again, like I said, make sure this is turned on, and you can always click on the actual text to get more information. So if you go here, these are all the options you will get if you have Air View turned on. Information preview, progress preview, icon labels, and list scrolling. Okay, and you can look at these one by one to see what they are. In fact, if you tap on them, it shows you what it is. So you can hover your pen in your gallery, it's just going to scroll through the images. Or if you tap this guy, like you can hover over like one part of the movie, it's going to give you a quick preview, or the second part. Okay, and you can look at these when you have some time. And the final thing I want to look at with the S Pen is you can turn off the pointer. Okay, so as you can see, there's a little pointer that hovers on the screen. You can just press this button and it's not there anymore. If it's annoying you, you can turn it off. If you like it, if you like it, you can keep it on. Now, by the way, if you're hovering over the screen and you press the this button here, the Air command pops right up. And then from here you can pick one of the 5 options that they make available. Okay, and that's also something you can turn off. So if you press this here, no more Air command. So pressing the button, nothing happens. I like that on because I do like Air command a lot. Okay, so that is all I'm going to go over with the S Pen. The other thing I want to go over is the notifications panel on the top here. So first of all, you can scroll through here. You have more options than you first see, so you can scroll right over. And you can also see everything that is available by pressing the 4 squares that you see on the top here. So if you press that, this is all the options you have. And if you press this pen button right here, you can in fact rearrange the order of these quick toggle items. So you see how there's GPS and sound next to each other? So if I take this over here, put it right here, sounds and GPS will swap places. When you pull down the notifications tab, now sound is here and GPS is here. Okay, so everything here is in fact customizable. The other thing I want to go over in the notifications panel is if you pull it down again, you see that you have an option to change the brightness and change the sound of your device. You can turn these options off. If you think there's too much going on here, you can turn that stuff off. Again, I like it, so I'm going to keep it on, and if you pull it down again, it's right there. Okay, so the next thing I want to go over is the keyboard options. So if you go to like Google Chrome, just as an example, and you want to type something over here, the huge keyboard just pops up and takes over half the screen. And this is a big screen, 12.2 inches across the board. And this keyboard could be annoying. So what you can do is you can press and hold this button right here. And then you will see the little keyboard icon. You press that, and you can pick different keyboards that take less space on the screen. The one that I like is you can have a split keyboard, so it's going to split just like this. Okay, and you can use one thumb on this side and one thumb on the other side. You can just use it like that. Or, go back to the keyboard options. You can have this nice, sweet, floating keyboard all over the place. You can take this guy, you can put it anywhere on the screen. Okay, And from here, you can type anything you want. Google.com. Go. Again, if you go anywhere you have to type something, the tiny keyboard pops up. It does not take a lot of real estate. It is perfect. But if you like the big guy, always go back and press the big one. And the other thing you can do here is, again, press and hold. And you can do natural handwriting if you do not want to use the keyboard. All you want to do is you want to press this T button right here. And the natural handwriting comes up. You can use your fingers. Okay, it is going to recognize the things that you write down. Or you can use your S Pen. So, another win. Okay, so that is the other thing you can do. And if you want to go back to the keyboard, you just tap it right there. And the big keyboard comes right back. Okay, so the other thing you want to do is you want to go to settings again. You know, I keep pulling this down and pressing the settings button here, but you also probably have this sitting on the keyboard, makes that easier. So press settings, and then what you want to do is you want to go to settings, general, and you want to go to the storage options. From here, there's a couple things you can do. For example, there's something that says cached data, and it is wasting 209 megabytes of my total space. So if I tap that, it gives me the option to clear all the cached data, and if I say OK, it is going to free up that much space. The other thing I want you to realize here is you can tap where it says available space. Okay, actually, you know what? That's not the one. That is the available space you have right now. Tap used space, and it's going to show you what is using your space by how much. So applications are using 4.97 gigs, pictures and videos only 1.37 megabytes. The audio, I have no audio here, so that's basically empty. That's 136 kilobytes, which is nothing. And then downloads, I have no downloads. Okay, so if you go to storage, you can get some useful information on how your storage is being used. Okay, so your tab comes with the ability to vibrate on certain occasions. Okay, if you get an email, you can have a vibration setup. But the thing is, vibrations wastes a lot of battery power. So what you want to do is you want to go to device, and you want to go to sound, and then you want to change the vibration intensity to minimum. Okay, because the lower it is, the less battery you are going to waste. Okay, so next tip, you can change the font size and font style for your entire tablet. So what you want to go is you want to go to settings. Oops. So you want to go to settings, and you want to go to device, and you want to tap on where it says font. From here, font style can be changed. It's going to load a bunch of fonts. And I also want to let you know, you can go and download many more fonts by tapping this downloads button. Okay, you have all these fancy options. Anyway, let's go back and take a look at what we have already installed. So again, it's going to populate that, and you can change everything to Rosemary. Takes a couple seconds, but as you can see, all the fonts everywhere have changed to Rosemary. If you go here, everything is changed. Go to settings, go to device, go to font, and then you can change the size of it as well. So you can do medium, so it increases the size a little bit. You can do extra large. Okay, so your device is very customizable. So let's bring this to medium here, and let's put it back to the default font that I like. Okay, as you can see, everything is back to normal now. Now here's a weird trick. As you can see, the settings menu is all white. You can turn this into all black by using a little trick. Okay, so if you go to device and you go to accessibility, at the bottom here somewhere it says negative colors. If you press this, it is going to reverse everything on your device. Okay, so this is unfortunately this applies everywhere. So if you go to home screen, everything has negated the colors. Okay, but it's something to play with. So let's go back there. Controls, I'm sorry, device, accessibility, and there we go, back to normal. Okay, another tip. You see on the top here, you see the battery meter, and you also see a battery percentage. What you can do is you can pull down this, go to settings, and go to General, go to Battery. Okay, in addition to seeing what is using your battery more than anything, for example, the screen is using 35% of my battery. Okay, in addition to that, you can scroll all the way down and you can disable the battery meter. Okay, now if you pull this down, the battery meter is there, but the actual number is not there. If I put this on, number comes right back up. Okay, I like to see the number, so I'm just going to leave that on. Let's go back and look at the next tip. Next tip. So what you can do is you can go to Settings, go to General, and go under Users. You can in fact add extra users to your device. Meaning, like if you have a son or a daughter or a wife, you can create a separate profile for them right here. They're not going to have any access to your apps. They're going to have to install their own apps. So if you press this button on the top here that says Add, okay, it says Add a User, and it gives you a complete explanation of what that means. So you can share this device with other people by creating additional users. Users will have their own space, which they can customize with their own apps, own wallpaper, and so on. Okay, so if you click OK, it's going to start the process, and you can have your wife using your tablet without her having access to your apps or your kids. Okay. Okay, so another amazing tip that I totally love is where you can go to your camera and you can use your voice to take pictures. Okay, so if you go to Settings and if you go to Controls, under Voice Control, make sure again turn it on. Click OK. Go inside, and you can use your voice to capture pictures in the camera, or play, pause music, or even snooze your alarm just by using your voice. So let's look at the camera. So let's press Camera. Watch this. Capture. Capture. Okay, so every time you say capture, it takes a picture. And oops. And if you go down here, voice control, you can say capture, shoot, smile, and cheese, and all that is going to take pictures or record. If you want to record video, you just say record video. And if your alarm is going on trying to wake you up and you want to snooze it, you don't have to use your hands anymore to tap the screen. You can just say snooze or stop. Okay? And there's a couple other things you can do with the music. And you can turn these on or off individually. So if you don't want the alarm or the music, but just want the camera, you got it. And a couple other things on the Samsung Galaxy Note Pro. As you know, this came with the Magazine UX interface. So you have the old TouchWiz, and then you also have the Magazine UX overlay. And to edit these guys, you have to pinch, and then from here you can pick widgets. So these widgets are available for you to take and put them right here. So if you want to add this widget to this screen or this screen, you just tap on the screen you want to add it to, you press Gallery. Okay, if you want to go to this guy, press Gallery. If you go inside there, you have buttons on the top here that you can use to refresh your Twitter feed if you have Twitter enabled, which I don't have at this point. But if I had it, let me just tap here, I could press refresh and it would just refresh the contents. And then there's also an options button here that gives you certain options, again, if your account is connected. If I go to news, and you see this is arts and culture, so if I press refresh, it is going to refresh my news feed with the latest and newest news. And I can also tap the options button to add different feeds to that particular widget. Okay, again, pinch to edit. You can have a minimum of 1 Magazine UX interface and a maximum of 5 on the Note Pro. So we can take this, get rid of it. Now I only have 1. You have to have at least 1. Same thing applies to TouchWiz. So with TouchWiz you can pinch. You gotta have a minimum of 1 and you can add up to 5. Alrighty? And one final tip. At the bottom here you got the app drawer. If you click that, it takes you to your apps and your widgets. And there's a button over here that gives you a couple options. Okay, so from here you can actually disable apps to not show over here. You can change the wallpaper. You can create a folder right in here. So let's do the disable apps real quick. So I can, let's see, disable the remote PC app. So all the features will be turned off. To turn it on again, you have to go back to settings and then go to Application Manager. Okay? And if I go to something that I already downloaded, I can uninstall that. So this is going to delete the data and turn off the app. Okay? So that's a couple things you can do in the app drawer.
Alright, so that brings us to the end of this video. Go ahead and subscribe to my channel for more videos to come. Give me a thumbs up if you liked this video, and also you can go ahead and connect with me socially on Google+, Facebook, and Twitter, for which all the links are in the description below. Thank you again, and I'll see you the next time. And if you have any questions, comments, concerns, just throw them down in the comments section below.